What's up, guys? This is Raging here. I'm gonna bring you guys my version of the Lifestaff Flail Pally build. Let's dive right into it. So we're gonna start off by going over the Lifestaff tree. For the current build that I'm running DST with Sacred, which consists of Divine Embrace, Light's Embrace. If you guys have healed since launch, or if you're new to healing, this is what the skill tree will typically look like. We'll start off with Absolved, Blissful Touch, Revitalize, Desperate Speed, Sacred Protection, Intensify. Sometimes that's optional. Some people don't run it, some people do. You can choose whichever floats your boat the best. Sacred Ground, obviously that's the biggest one. And you're coming to Holy Ground, Anointed. Then we're gonna come over to Divine Embrace. Take Privilege, Shared Struggle, Rebound. These two are important because whenever you hit somebody in the clump with DE or really yourself even, it'll rebound to somebody that's within those 8 meters to you and heal them as well. I've healed people for upwards of like 8k plus just off that bouncing heal, so it comes in pretty clutch in a lot of situations. Next we're gonna go over to the Protector side. We're obviously going to take Ben Light. It's a free 20% boost to your outgoing healing just by simply dodging every couple seconds. I also take Protector's Touch with this build. If I hit somebody with the Lifestaff, it gives me 15% Fortify for 3 seconds. I also take Protector's Strength. It's basically another 20% outgoing healing buff, since pretty much I always have a buff. Then I go into Light's Embrace. I also take the second passive in the tree with it, Inspire. Gives whoever gets hit by it 25 stamina. Overall, this is basically what my Lifestaff tree looks like. Let's go into the Flail. I start off with Oppressive Advantage, Weighted Superiority, simply because I'm in light equip load. If I hit somebody with the Flail, just free cooldown reduction basically. I also take Happy Flails, be it somebody with a basic attack and then hit him with an ability. Hinders their stamina regeneration by 15% for 5 seconds. So if you're kill squad healer, this is super clutch. I also go into Arcane Vortex. I take the tree all the way down. Flailbird, Accelerated Advantage, Flailing Stability. This is huge, this ability right here, because it'll allow anybody that's within the circular motion that the vortex does to cleanse CC effects all around for 5 seconds, and it also has a huge heal burst. I think it's like upwards of like 4k or something like that I've hit people with. Next we're gonna come over to the Bastion side. I've got Barrage. You take it all the way down. So Defensive Rush, Abiding Superiority, Bulldoze, Failure to Launch. This ability is basically like using Flesh on the Rapier but on steroids. There's no collision at all. If you can proc it, you can go straight through all the enemies. You can also slow them with the ability too. And it's just, it's all around, it's a great ability. It's great for getting into the clump. It's great for getting out of the clump. I recommend this if you're using this as a healer. Then I go into Vital Suppressant. I also take Flail Mary. And then this is the bread and butter of this build. You can set up so many kills with Trip, and it's super fun. As we go down, I take Flailing Duration. Got Flail, and then Destabilize. The cool thing about Destabilize too is when it does the follow-up attack after you initially click Trip, I've hit people for upwards of 1.9 to 2k damage, and as a healer, that's just that's insane to me, honestly. Overall, this is what my tree looks like for the Flail and Shield. Let's dive into the gear. So to start it off, I just finally hit 700 gear score overall last night. This is what it looks like. Initial expansion, I went into the gym, dropped this Lifestaff, took it to the gypsum kiln, upgraded it. It's got Bless, Refreshing Move, refreshing divine embrace. Most of us healers, we prefer that on Lifestaff. Very good cooldown reduction on DE. Super good. The flail, some people beg to differ whether to put mending vortex on there. From a healer POV, I could not recommend it more. It heals you for every 2 hits that you hit with vortex. It heals you. I've got a video up prior to this one that pretty much shows me in the clump about to die. I click vortex and it heals me for so much HP, guys. So if you want to make this flail, it's quite expensive, but I think it's well worth it in the end. And you can even use it for PvE as well, just like I do. Okay, so now we're gonna jump into the gear. I went a different route than other people. I didn't do shirking heals, shirking 4, all that jazz. I know that there's a lot of fire staffs, there's a lot of elemental split weapons, with the musket, the bow, fire staffs, etc. So I went this route. I got LA aversion, refreshing, thrust conditioning. And I've put this on all of my pieces aside from featherweight. But thrust conditioning, that's going to protect you from, you're going to get hit kind of hard for that first hit from a thrust weapon, but then it'll stack on all your pieces of gear, which is up to like 20% basically extra thrust protection for those 5 seconds. So it's allowed me to like kind of get in and get out of a lot of scenarios where if I didn't have it on my gear, I don't think I'd have got out. Next is featherweight. Obviously it's got weightless on it, which allows us to change out our build with heavy equip pieces, put a shield on there, etc. But it's got refreshing on it, it's got physical aversion, and then I did attach shirking heals to it because it's overpowered right now, and why not take a free 900 something HP when you dodge an attack to stay alive, right? The next one is my gloves. I also did LA aversion refreshing, but I took off thrust conditioning to put fortifying sacred ground because due to the fortified changes, it goes off people's armor now. So it's just kind of overall more fortified for those clumps, yourself if you got to put it on you, etc. I will swap out these gloves for LA aversion refreshing purity of light if I do kill squad heal or just dex players that won't typically benefit from sacred ground. Next is the legs. I've got LA aversion. I did put thrust conditioning on these, and then I put shirking energy. To me, I still think shirking energy as a healer is BIS. Every 6 seconds you get 16 stamina when you dodge an attack. As healers, we're pretty much kiting people constantly in OPRs, wars, etc. So why not take a free 16 stam? Next is my boots. Same as the other pieces. I've got LA aversion, refreshing, thrust conditioning on these as well. For the shield, this drops in the lower part of Shattered Mountain, I think in the upper Civican. I cannot remember the name of the boss off the top of my head, but it's got refreshing move, arcane shield ward, slash shield ward, and shield aggression. This is what, with the shield equipped and out, when you're using your flail, this is what your resist will look like. So you have 23.7 slash, 5% strike, 25% thrust, 23.7 arcane damage resist, and then 10% LA across the board. I have been loving using this shield. I like the way it looks on the character. Overall, could not recommend this thing enough. For the jewelry, I did Tanglevine Amulet. I dropped this in the Elysian Wilds area off one of the mobs. Took it to the Gypsum Kiln. It's got health and thrust prod on it already, and I just forced stamina recovery. We saved 350k right there on Abyss Amulet. For the ring, I crafted his second day of expansion, Hardy's Sacred Healing Breeze. For those of you who don't know, Healing Breeze, if you hit somebody with DE for basically the next 6 seconds, they're going to get a heal over time for roughly, from what I've seen, about 280. If you run more focus, it could go higher. I'm not sure yet, but for me, this is the best healing ring across the board. I've seen a lot of people running it, so I think they think the same thing too. For the earring, I crafted this from the material that I got from the season pass. It drops in Laz, I believe. I think it comes with Healthy Toast Nimble, and then I put it into the Gypsum Kiln as well, and I believe Refreshing Toast popped on there, or I could have those reversed, but either or, this is pretty much my healing setup, and for me it's worked. I've had a blast using the Lifestaff Flail combo. I've seen some people be using it in wars. I've got a video up on YouTube already that kind of showcases how you guys can play in the clump, how you can set up kills with it, and I plan to drop a couple more videos dedicating specifically to targeting other healers and just some fun stuff like that. So the last thing I want to talk about is a tribute split. So with food buff, I will typically run 350 focus and 250 con, simply because when you hit your heart rune, you can reduce your cooldown abilities by 20% with that 350 focus. And I think that's honestly clutch, especially when it comes to the flail. When you click your stone form and get a 20% reduction on arcane vortex, etc. I think it's good. You can go more focus if you want, if you don't have too much magnify, because we all know how crappy that is lately. But yeah. And then for 250 con, this is what it looks like. Minus 60% damage reduction when full health every 30 seconds. That's a huge damage reduction every 30 seconds. It's up to you how you guys want to run your split. If you want to do some more damage, you go full on pally. You can put some more strength in there. I've done 100 con, 350 focus, 100 strength, I believe, in the past. Sometimes I'll do 200 con and I'll do 50 strength just to simply get the 10% heavy attack damage. Overall, it's been a lot of fun. I could not recommend the build enough. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.